Hey moms, I know that you're busy, and that is why I am actually doing this video from my car, because this is the only time I have today. But I really wanted to touch base with you. It's been a minute since I've posted a video, and I want to help you do better when it comes to your health and your nutrition with your family. So today we're going to talk about how to do better with your nutrition with your kids. And it doesn't even matter what age they are, but I know it's probably a struggle. Now, honestly, it's easiest if you start when they're young, right? Because of course you are their best example, you are their best educator, and you can introduce the foods that they need to eat that are healthier. So if you have young kids, that's a great place to start. Now, I've got 5 ideas for you. Some of them are best for younger kids, some of them work for any age kids. But you know, I know it's difficult when you are trying to be healthy yourself and you're trying to change your nutrition, and it's really tough when your family's not on board, and it's not really efficient for you to be making 3 or 4 different meals for people. Why not introduce what you're eating to your kids, or at least make better, healthier choices, or give them healthier choices? Now, today I'm going to talk mostly about breakfast, but some of these will apply to any meal. We're going to talk about the best ways to help them choose breakfast. Now, my biggest tip is number 1, don't offer them dessert at breakfast. You know, we've all grown up with pancakes and cereals, which, you know, I used to think that things like Cheerios were healthy. They're not. They're still processed crap. Or pastries or donuts, or how did these things get into our breakfast? We're literally starting the day by spiking our insulin and jacking our blood sugar around. It's not the best option. Tip number 2 is to make sure you are starting with protein. Some sort of protein. It doesn't even have to be eggs. If your kids are not into eggs, I mean, eggs are great because they're a complete protein, but it doesn't have to. You could be doing chicken sausage, which, be careful of your sausages. You want find something that's uncured. They do contain a lot of additives and preservatives. You have to be careful there. Some of them can be considered carcinogens, but you could do, we use a lot of Columbus uncured turkey bacon, which you can get from Costco. You can do, it doesn't have to be breakfast food. You could do steak, you could do burger. I mean, get creative. That's part of the process. You could do a breakfast burrito without necessarily the tortilla, because tortillas, I still haven't found a healthy tortilla, but you know, keep looking, because you never know when you might come up with something great. Tip number 3 would be use finger foods, especially if your kids are younger. Whatever, they're going to be way better off, obviously, picking up things with their hands. So, you know, fruits, berries are great. You can do vegetables at breakfast, guys. It doesn't have to just be meals later in the day, but things that they can pick up with their hands, things that are bite size. You know, do some chicken, cut it up in small pieces, allow them to eat. And because kids really want to make their own choices, even when they're young, give them plenty of options. But I love the idea of more like bento box style, where you have, you know, a little container, and they make them today. They make actually bento lunch boxes where you can put different things in each of the little containers and allow them to pick and choose what they want to eat. If you don't have that, and if you're eating at home, use a muffin tin. My last tip is to make things pre-made in serving sizes. Use those muffin tins and pre-make like little egg muffin size meals, you know, whether it's more of an omelet style or a frittata or more of a quiche style. You can make them ahead, you can freeze them, or make them the night before they're ready to go in the morning. Just reheat them for your kids, especially if it's school and you're in a hurry. Now, I had 5 kids, and my youngest now is 15, my oldest is 27, so of course they've grown up, but I had a pretty good age range when they were little, you know, 13 to whatever down, and it was a little crazy at my house. And so I learned pretty quickly. Granted, my kids were a little bit older when I started to get healthy, but I learned early on you had to be efficient. You had to make ahead, make do, because especially if you're hauling kids to school or getting them all up at different times to get them to school, you got to be really efficient. So be on the ball. Make sure you have the right things in your house. If you have junk food, they will go towards that. Even at breakfast time, don't buy the cereals. Make that an extra special treat. You know, one of our traditions at the holidays, and the only time I would make real pancakes, was the day after Christmas. Christmas morning, we'd get up, we'd do all the unwrapping and the Christmas gifts, and then I would make some sort of fun flavored pancakes, but that was the only time that I would ever make them. And so my kids, they learned that it was a super cool, fun family treat.